Denigma Howard is a student at Marshall High School on the west side of Chicago, and on January 29th, she was beaten up by cops. And at the time, there was video which we'll play, but there is new surveillance video that showed what happened before the incident took place and throughout the incident. It was from a stairwell. This is Denigma at the top. She's the one just standing there, and as she walks away, out of nowhere, the cop just grabs her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And wait till you hear the story of what the cops claimed happened.
And down a set of stairs, of course they go.
Yeah, and so the cops originally claimed, and at this late juncture, I'm still naive. Like before I saw the video, I was reading the cops' version of it, and I was like, it still is not the right thing to do. But until I saw the video, I believed them. They said that she did not want to leave voluntarily, so she was resisting, and it had started a scuffle. And I was going to say, she's 16 years old. You shouldn't fall down a flight of stairs with her, and you shouldn't do the stun gun, and you shouldn't do all these things. You should find a different way. It turns out, no, they were lying. No, she didn't start it at all. And they just threw her down a flight of stairs, let alone all the other horrific things that they did to her. Yeah. Look, I'm done trusting the cops. And so, look, in the old days, because of American lore and mythology, and you'd see it in the movies too, like if a cop takes a stand, everyone's like, oh, well, this is gonna be true. This is a lot of credibility here. I don't know about that random witness and the other witness who's only a nurse, I don't trust her, but the cop I really trust, right? No, now it's reversed. It doesn't mean you can't rebut the presumption. You can present evidence and facts and I'll believe you. But if a cop's on the stand, I'm a lot less likely to trust them. And if it's a cop on the stand against a black defendant, I'm doubly not going to trust them. You can rebut that presumption, but my presumption is based on the overwhelming evidence that we have covered on the show, they're usually lying.
Yeah, the video continues at the bottom of the stairs. It continues as they drag her all the way down the flight of stairs and more.
Foot on her ankle. There's two cops now. One is on top of her as they slid down the stairs, kicking, grabbing. Apparently she had trouble breathing. Her father showed up in that scene to pick her up. Because let's also get this part straight. This whole thing started, the reason why she was being standing next to the cops at the top of the stairs was she refused to put, it was finals week, I believe, or something. She refused to put her cell phone away in class. So they kicked her out of class and said, hey, you could either go to detention or do whatever their consequence procedures are. She's standing there waiting for her father to come pick her up because they called her dad and said, hey, come pick up your kid, she's being unruly today. He comes by to find his daughter being assaulted by two cops.
And he said there's nothing he could do. I heard him get interviewed today. He was like, I told them that's my daughter, and they kept.
She has asthma issues at the time. I mean, maybe you think it's funny by now because this is now repetitive. She said, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if when you hear those words, then you start thinking, I think I'm that cop. And maybe decide to calm down. A 16-year-old high school girl, two cops can't handle enough. If she's now at the beginning of that video, if we play the beginning of that first one again, this was the egregious nature. By the way, as you said, the cop's story was that she went to assault them. And most people would believe that.
Denigma was initially charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated battery against the officers. That's the original video that came out.
This is down once they have her at the bottom, but yeah.
But yeah, 2 felony counts of aggravated battery against the officers. The charges were dropped less than a week later. Quote, in the interest of justice. I hate the way they phrase that. In the interest of justice. Well, no, it's in the interest of covering your butt because this video came out disproving everything you said. As Jayar points out at the beginning, she's not fighting the police. Maybe she kicks back once she's been tased, as she's attached to the other police officer.
She said something to him and took a step to the left. Now, I'm not sure which direction detention is or which direction whatever she's supposed to choose to go is, but she took a step apparently in the wrong direction and said something to the cop, and that was enough because that's threatening.
No, and I want to be clear about the outrageous lies of the Chicago Police Department in this case. They said that she kicked, and we're gonna watch the video again, okay, the first video. She kicked, bit, and spit on the officers, causing them to tumble down the stairs together. That was their original story. Now let's see if she drags them down the stairs or they drag her down the stairs. Did she kick them? No. Did she bite them? No. You see it clear as day. Did she say something to them? Probably, because what did I just tell you on the show yesterday? Biggest crime in America is disrespecting a police officer. It's not in any law book, but it'll get you thrown down a flight of stairs if you're a 16-year-old girl.
And did you see how many witnesses are there? Classmates, other folks in the school who said, what are you doing? Stop it. What are you doing? Now, when those first charges came up on her assaulting police officers, did they ask the other 75 people that were right in the middle of it, hey, did you see what happened? No, it doesn't matter because all you guys must be liars. You look like little liars. You're probably gonna say something against what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is the truth. So let's not even ask anyone. Let's just say what our story was is the truth.
So people, I'm sure, are gonna get outraged by me saying I don't believe the cops anymore. Do you believe them? I mean, how many tapes of cops outrageously lying and show you the exact opposite of what they said do you have to see before you go, oh, maybe cops are human and maybe, just maybe they're trained wrong. So, and now this gets to the usual issue of the training. So apparently they're not training the officers any differently in the schools as they are in the streets. So first of all, the training in the streets sucks. The Chicago Police Department has committed endless amounts of abuse. They even had a place where they would do almost extraordinary renditions within the city of Chicago. They'd kidnap people, bring them to a black site where they would oftentimes torture them. The Justice Department had to step in because of how atrocious the Chicago Police Department was. And if you say, hey, Cenk, did you know the Democrats run Chicago? I'd say, yeah, I know. It was Rahm Emanuel, a corporate Democrat who hates progressives and who did a terrible job because he's like, oh, what do the police need? I'm a conservative Democrat. I'll give the police whatever they want. You want to torture people? Who cares? Who cares? Do it with impunity. Now you're gonna put those people trained that way into schools. And so you could kick the crap out of students, right? So now, the other part of this story is stop putting cops in the schools. I know that's apparently a controversial statement. When we were growing up, we didn't have cops in the schools, and we never needed the cops in the schools. And so it's not to say that nobody ever pulled a knife or there wasn't a dangerous situation. Well, when you had a weapon or a dangerous situation, once a student had hit a teacher in my school, I remember, then they called the cops. But they didn't have cops constantly patrolling, looking for who's disrespecting me, who's not following a suspension or a detention. I'm gonna grab him by the hair and drag him down the stairs. You know that you can see it partly there, and Jayar says stepped on her ankle, but they also stepped on her chest. They used a stun gun on her several times, and while one of them was holding her down by stepping on her chest, the other one was punching her in the face. So look at this, okay?
That's police work.
They said she dragged them down the stairs. You just saw the video.
So they have body cameras potentially, according to the reports. And congratulations to the Chicago Sun-Times for finding that, for getting their hands on that surveillance video, so that it can really shine light on it. And hopefully, if they do have body cameras, we end up seeing those too.
And if you're saying, hey, well, look, there's no race here. You mentioned African American before, but look at the video. Yeah, I've got eyes. I can see the video, right? No, it doesn't matter if the cops are white or black or Latino or Asian. They're trained the same way. You prove yourself by beating up on the citizens, then you're one of us, okay? That's what that training's about, and I can't stand that training. So we got a new mayor-elect, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. They said she was a progressive. I hope to God that she acts like one and actually gets the cops to, I know this is shocking and Fox News will be really upset, but to actually serve the citizens. And instead of beating them up, maybe actually try protecting them. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.